I never thought I would be the kind of man to seek revenge. But when I walked in on my wife cheating, something inside me snapped. It wasn't anger alone. It was clarity. I realized in one moment that if she was willing to throw away everything we had built, then I would make sure she didn't get to destroy me along with it. My name is Daniel. My wife and I had been married for 8 years. We had built what I thought was a steady life together. Quiet mornings, a little garden, and all the routines that make marriage feel safe. But for months, things had felt off. She came home late. She hid her phone. She laughed at texts she wouldn't explain. I asked, and she brushed it all away as stress. The truth came out by accident. A work meeting was cancelled, and I came home early. I walked in, expecting to see her on the couch in pajamas. Instead, I froze. She was with another man, on our sofa close, smiling in a way she hadn't smiled at me in a long time. For a few seconds, I couldn't move. The world narrowed. It wasn't just that she was with him. It was how easy, how comfortable, how natural it looked. Like I didn't exist. I didn't shout. I didn't make a scene. I stepped into the kitchen, my hands shaking, and felt the weight of everything collapse. Then I did the one thing she didn't expect. I stayed calm. When she finally noticed me standing there, her eyes widened. "Daniel, it's not what it looks like," she stammered. Her lover tried to stand and speak, but I cut him off. "Don't. I saw everything. There's no excuse you can give me that will fix what I just walked in on." She started pleading, saying it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything. But I had heard enough. In that moment, my decision was made. I pulled out a folder from my desk, a copy of our prenuptial agreement. She had laughed at me years ago for insisting on one. Now, it was about to become her worst nightmare. The document was clear. If she cheated, she forfeited her claim to the house and the majority of our assets. When I placed it in front of her, her face went pale. "You wouldn't," she whispered. "I already have," I said quietly. "You made your choice the second you brought him into our home. Now I'm making mine." I took photos of what I'd seen, not to humiliate her, but to protect myself legally. That night, I contacted my lawyer, froze our joint accounts, and arranged to start the sale of the house. I had built this home long before she came into my life, and I wasn't going to let her betrayal taint it any longer. The next morning, she came to me in tears. "Daniel, please, I made a mistake. Don't throw everything away." I looked her in the eye. "I didn't throw it away. You did." Over the next few weeks, I stayed steady. I didn't lash out. I didn't spread rumors. I simply told the truth, to our families, to the people who mattered, showing them the proof so there could be no twisting of the story. She tried to play the victim, but it didn't work. Everyone saw her for what she had done. Her lover disappeared quickly, ashamed, leaving her to deal with the fallout. She begged me not to go through with the sale of the house, not to enforce the prenup. But I followed through. The house sold, the assets were divided according to the agreement, and she was left with almost nothing. On the last day, I stood in the empty living room one final time. She came to me crying, saying, "This isn't what I wanted." I handed her the last set of papers. Neither was betrayal, I told her. And then I walked out. Revenge didn't come in the form of shouting or violence. It came in the form of calm, deliberate choices. By staying in control, by protecting myself legally and financially, I took back the power she thought she had stolen from me. In the end, I didn't just lose a wife. I lost the illusion of who she was. And though the pain cut deep, I gained something more important: freedom. She walked out of my life laughing with another man. I walked away from her for good, with my dignity intact and a future she no longer had the power to ruin.